Hello, thanks for watching Arts 24 today. From Granada to New York to Paris for more than 4 decades, today's guest has been blazing trails in the world of dance, film, fashion and music. The Spanish choreographer is called on by the likes of Beyoncé, Coldplay and Paul McCartney to create memorable pieces. One of her most recent works was for French shoe designer Christian Louboutin, with Olympic swimmers performing in high heels in a Paris swimming pool. Next up is her modern retelling of the tragic love story Dido and Aeneas, based on the 17th century opera. Blanca Li, hello.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you. You've got so many things going on. The images of the Olympic swimmers in a Paris swimming pool wearing high heels were just incredible. How challenging was a choreography like that in a swimming pool with women wearing high heels?
Well, actually, Christian Louboutin asked me 1 year ago. He had this idea, and I was like, yes, because I love to do this kind of choreographies, and I had this dream of doing a water choreography. So I work with the Olympic national team, French, which are amazing, and I had the chance that I could do anything I wanted. And in fact, I realized that swimming in the water and dancing is very close to what we do in dancing. We have the same way of communicating, so it was really beautiful experience.
Yeah, the pictures are so incredible. Your new creation is called Dido and Aeneas, and it recounts this famous love story, the classic love story of Queen Dido and her love for the Trojan hero Aeneas and her despair when he abandons her. It's inspired by the 17th century opera, which is by the English composer Henry Purcell. Why did you want to make a contemporary version of this story?
2 years ago, I was asked by William Christie and Les Arts Florissants, which is an ensemble of Baroque music with this amazing director, of course, that they asked me to do the creation, the staging of the opera. So while I was doing the staging of the opera, I completely fell in love with this music. I was so impressed by the beauty and the intensity of the emotions during this opera, which is a very short opera and has all emotions in it. So I wanted, after I finished the staging of the opera, I decided I want to make a ballet of the opera, which means there is no singers, the music is registered, and we tell the story through dance, and we tell all the emotions of the story through the movement. And this was my work, really, to work with the dancers and try to bring what is happening in the inside of all the
heads,
of the role, the Dido and Aeneas, what is happening, what is really the emotion, and translate it into the body. And so it came out this beautiful show that is very poetic, very emotional, and really, I have 10 dancers on the stage, and it's a very strong show for me because it's all about human emotions. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it.
If not for mine, for empire's sake, some pity on your lover take. Make not in a homeless fire a hero fall, and Troy once more expire.
So ultimately, this is the story of a woman who kills herself because a man leaves her. How have you updated it?
I think it's very universal story. That's what I like, and the reason also I talk about this is because these emotions don't have a time in the history. It can happen to anyone. Love is the strongest emotion we can live, and also when we are abandoned, it's one of the hardest emotion that you can feel. So I think the story of this woman and this man, it's very difficult because they are victims also of the social context of the relation. And this is very actual. Mm-hmm. And I see that today we are also, because of social media and the way we expose our lives, we are very much victims of our own relation with what the people see or what
people
they think
of us.
And this is the reason why sometimes we are very exposed, and they are, because who they are, totally exposed in their love. And that's why this love is impossible.
Okay, I can really feel how passionate you are about
Yeah.
this story. So this Dido and Aeneas is showing at Paris's La Villette. It's showing there until the end of October. This is a huge cultural space in Paris. I think it attracts something like 12 million people every single year. And you have just been appointed the president of it. Tell us a bit about your ambitions. You're the first woman to hold that role.
Yes, as the new president of La Villette, of course, I want to bring to La Villette all my energy and my love for all the different arts. And I think that already in La Villette is many things happening, but I want more things to happen. And the idea is that La Villette is a very big cultural park where you have music, circus, all kinds of performing arts, but you also have exhibitions. You also have popular events happening in the park, and I want it to become also the house of all urban cultures.
Oh, okay.
So I'm working on that and to create really a place where all Parisians and people from all over the world can meet, all cultures can meet, live together and enjoy through culture all different experiences.
Well, it's interesting you say that because hip-hop is very important to you. You actually have a hip-hop version of the Christmas classic, the Nutcracker, coming up at the Théâtre Libre in Paris. We'll talk about it in a moment, but let's take a look. There we go, a hip-hop Nutcracker. I can't wait to see that. You've always loved mixing genres, experimenting and pushing boundaries from the very beginning of your career when you were 17 and you arrived in New York and formed a flamenco rap band. You were there actually at the birth of hip-hop
Totally.
in New York. How has being there at that time influenced your work today?
Well, actually, I remember perfectly the first time I saw a hip-hop dancer in the streets of New York. It was like really the beginning. They were dancing on a cupboard on the floor, and I was like, wow, what is this? Amazing. And my first show I did, I talked to one of those dancers in the street and came to dance in my first show. So I've been really working with hip-hop dancers since the beginning. I love hip-hop because it's a form of dance that has always the capacity of reinvent itself, and it keeps this freshness of like the streets, and I love it. So Nutcracker is a piece I've seen since I'm little, always as a ballet, a classical ballet piece. And one day I was looking, I'm gonna say, oh, this will be so cool to do it like in hip hop. And with the director of Suren Dance Festival in Suren, Olivier Meyer, he asked me to do a creation, and I told him, you know, I have this dream. I want to make a hip-hop Casse-Noisette, Nutcracker hip-hop version. So he said, okay, let's go. And we started to do. So now it's been 2 years since it's touring, and it's now coming to Paris for the first time for 3 months.
Great, for Christmas time.
Yes.
You actually founded your company more than 30 years ago now. During that time, you've worked on something like more than 20 creations. You've performed in 1,000 venues all over the world, not just here in France. You've collaborated as well as that with film directors like Michel Gondry and Pedro Almodovar. You also, of course, worked with Daft Punk for the iconic dance in the music video Around the World, which we all love. It's become such an iconic music video. You also worked with Beyoncé for an ad campaign. What's it like working with one of the world's biggest stars?
Wonderful, because she's very professional, a very good dancer, and she knows very well what it means to work. And this is very important, because when you have to give a choreography to a big star like she is, they completely trust you as a choreographer, but also they have to be able to work as far as you have to push them to have a good result. And what I love about her is that she's like such a hard worker.
Like you.
Yeah, she's like go for it, and she doesn't mind to work. And when I'm working, I forget really that she's Beyonce. I'm just like going more like to the right, to the left, And it's beautiful because then it's just two women working together,
Okay. You have another production, actually, that's on tour at the moment. It's being shown in Shanghai. It's called Le Bal de Paris. This is a virtual reality piece. It's an experience that won the top prize at the Venice Film Festival, the Lion d'Or for the best virtual reality experience. It has toured non-stop since that. How would you describe it?
It's difficult to explain. It's like probably the first totally immersive virtual reality show in the world where you have the dancers and the public to meet in a virtual world for a real show in real time. So the experience is very intense because you arrive into a decor. You are physically in this decor. You are sharing the space with the other people in the show. The dancers are also, you are actually on stage with the dancers. And you live the whole show in a virtual world, but you are really having the sensations. You talking to people, you touching each other, you dancing together. So it's a very special experience and very unique.
Okay, Blanca Li, we're out of time, sadly, but thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you. Le Bal de Paris is showing in Shanghai at the IP Mall. Dido and Aeneas is on at La Villette in Paris until the end of October, and the Nutcracker is on at the Théâtre Libre from the 30th of October until January. Blanca Li, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're going to play out with Le Bal de Paris. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Venez, montez tous sur le bateau.